Reminds me of this meme right here.
The more I learn about this man, the more I respect him. The more I think he's doing a great job for our country. And people, I have a lot of friends of mine. I have family members of mine that have been like, I watch a show, and I can't believe that I'm actually going to vote for Donald Trump this year.
I'll tell you what, I'm disappointed.
In who? In what?
In everything.
Okay.
I'm absolutely disgusted by the Democrats. I am
Agreed.
enraged by them.
Okay.
And I'm disappointed generally that, for me, Donald Trump is the only choice right now.
Yep.
You know, I guess it's kind of like the saying, it reminds me of this old kind of, it's not really a joke, it's kind of a joke.
Mm-hmm.
I think I told it on the show before, but I'll say it now. It's a religious joke where a guy is in his house and a flood starts. Remember, I told you this one? Let's tell it again.
Maybe,
okay,
yeah.
Check it out. So a guy's in his house and a flood starts and there's water sweeping through the streets. The neighbors run to his house and say, quick, come out and jump in our car. And, we need to get out of here. And he goes, no, I'm going to wait for my Lord to save me. And so they say, no, are you crazy? You have to come with us. And he goes, I'm going to pray to the Lord to save my life. They leave. The water rises and he runs upstairs. He starts praying again, please save me, Lord. Now a boat pulls up his window and the guy says, hop in the boat, quick, we're getting out of here. The flood water is too high. And he says, no, I'm praying to the Lord to save me. My Lord will save me. Are you crazy? Come on. He goes, no. He leaves. The water keeps rising. He climbs on his roof. Now a helicopter comes. They throw a rope ladder down. Quick, climb up before you die. And he goes, no, I'm praying to the Lord to save my life. The helicopter guy says, you're crazy, but he refuses. The flood waters rise and the man dies. He goes to heaven. And finally, when he gets to speak to his Lord, he says, I prayed and prayed and prayed. Why didn't you save me? And the Lord says, I sent a truck, I sent a boat and a helicopter. You wouldn't take it. And that's the joke. The point is, you think you're going to get a perfect vision of what's supposed to come and help you out of this crisis. And I cannot believe that it's come to the point where 2 years ago I was laughing like, I'm never going to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Now it's so bad with the riots, and I kid you not, they arrested 2 small business owners only a few miles from my house because they wanted to do a small limited membership only gym opening.
Yeah, I read that.
A couple handful of people. And so the governor's like, lock them up. They're letting prisoners out of the jails, out of the prisons, and they're bringing
it was like 8,000 in California or something like that. Some ridiculous amount.
I'm sorry, man. For all of the faults that Trump has had that made me angry and upset or laugh and like, I'm not, now at this point where I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Vote for Biden? So I'm disappointed that I'm like, I normally wouldn't care to vote for Trump or especially not Biden, especially not Hillary. But I know that Trump is a funny guy. I just could never expect that the highest office of our country would be to a reality TV real estate mogul comedian who at least loves the country.
With an economics degree.
Sure. He's a billionaire.
He knows what he's
a real estate mogul, I think he's a smart guy. I think he's very successful.
Yep.
And the reason I told that joke about, expecting this perfect solution to save your problems is that maybe right now the only thing we have is Trump. So for all of the things that he said or done where I'm like, I roll my eyes and I'm like, I would prefer someone better. At this point, what's our choice? Joe Biden? Even Joe Rogan said it. Rather vote for Trump than Joe Biden. You got to think about what Joe Biden represents and what's happening in this country right now. And then it becomes a very, very difficult position. It's not easy. Absolutely not.
It is for me.
It is for you.
I'm voting for Trump.
Not for me.
It's
my liberal sensibilities.
Sure.
I see Trump and I see a lot of things that I'm totally fine with.
Okay.
I see a lot of things where I think he's like, the easiest thing is character issues. But for the most part, he's absolutely done a better job on a lot of issues in the past couple of years. But now we're at a point where
once he's able to finally start doing his job because he hasn't been hampered down by a certain group of people trying to bring him down.
I personally am not confident that, I'm confident the economy will do well, but I'm still concerned that under a Donald Trump presidency, there will be a lot of problems facing our nation and the world. Mm-hmm. But that's irrelevant at this point. The nation is crumbling. The Constitution is riddled with holes in Swiss cheese. Joe Biden is one of the architects of so much of these problems. The Democrats are joining in the chaos. The Democratic governors are arresting people for opening their businesses and locking down their states, and some Republicans too. And so right now I'm like, well, the ship's sinking. I guess I'm tossing my hat over to Trump.
It's probably a good time to invest in some
gold.
Glass stock.
Glass?
Yeah.
Oh, because of all the replacements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find your local glass company, invest heavily because they're going to be put in
They
business.
are busy.
Yeah. So look, this meme, in reality, they're not after me. They're after you. I'm just in the way. I'm like, I believe it. I do. Trump is in the way.
Can I get my?
I don't like him. He's a funny guy. I don't like him. But you know what?
I'm just over here like.
Well, here's the main point. Of all the problems, do I think the obnoxious bully is going to make a beautiful and glorious future for everybody?
Excuse me.
You're trying
Excuse
to.
me.
We I recorded some voices for
Excuse
Adam
me.
to.
I have an answer to that.
Excuse me.
Yes, he is. Absolutely yes.
It doesn't matter. This is the more important point. I feel confident in the economy. Don't get me wrong. But I look at the people he's hired, John Bolton. I'm not confident he's going to hire the right people. But it doesn't matter anymore. You know why? Because they're literally burning everything to the ground.
The alternative
And
is worse.
the alternative is beyond worse. The alternative
end
is
of the country.
oblivion.
Yeah.
Outright oblivion.
Well, I look at that and it's like he came into office not as a politician, becoming the highest honor of the land, like the president of America, you know, and half of the government right off the bat hated him, still hates him, still hasn't even accepted that he won in 2016, still to this day, you know, and then who knows how many people they were being like, make him look as bad as possible, even if if he hires you, make him look terrible. Let's undermine everything we can to get him out of office. You know, now like he brought in Barr, you know.
I like Barr.
Well,
Yep.
he's started. You can see it that he's starting to be like get into the flow, you know, of understanding his powers. You know, Rex
Tillerson?
Tillerson talks about how he was kind of sick of having to tell Trump, you know, look,
Is what you can't do.
no. He said I liked almost every single idea that Trump had, almost all of them, but he was annoyed because Trump was just like, why can't we just do this?
Yep.
And he would be like, because legally we have to go through all of these things. And Trump's like,
dude,
I want to fix all this. Like, let's do this.
This.
So he's had his hands tied behind his back.
Well, no, hold on. This is actually a very common problem with business people becoming politicians.
Right.
When you own your own company, you're like, I see the problem, boom, fixed.
Right.
When you're in government, you're like, I see the problem,
Oh, boy.
let's submit to committee, and we'll hear back in 3 months.
And then when half of that committee hates you because you ruined their whole plans to,
Or you're costing them money.
or same thing.
Their
as
stocks,
as
their
far as
interests.
these people, that's
Yep.
their plans. Their plans are money. That's what it is.
Or their re-election, and their constituents are screaming, Orange Man bad.
Come back to this meme. Cut back to this meme. Now a little more context. It makes even more sense because they're after everybody. They want, and he's just in the way. And now he's learning how to really use the powers of the president to the best of his abilities. I want to see 4 more years. I can't wait.
He did face a learning curve his first time in government.
Oh yeah.
Hiring John Bolton was one of the most laughably stupid things, and he's hired a bunch of really dumb people.
Many bad choices.
I'm hoping that because the alternative is like everything burning to the ground, that if Trump gets reelected and Republicans take over, they're going to fix several things like Section 230,
Yep.
for instance.
I would love that. Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
And the war on drugs.
And the war on drugs, bring our troops back from the Middle East.
Yep.
Man, I just want Trump to walk up on November 2nd and be like, decriminalizing marijuana federally, all gone. Everybody's being released. We're good. Don't worry. We're going to make sure the violent ones stay inside. I'll be like, all right, let's do this. I think so many people, he would probably win every single state, every single vote if he did that.
Probably.
What are they going to do? Come out against marijuana legalization? They would. They'd try.
They would.
Actually, Trump is wrong because some of these people,
Well, he made hemp legal, and I didn't know that until I started researching into him. And
Yep.
that's awesome. Like we don't have to chop down trees to make paper or clothes. Like hemp makes. Oh man, there's countless things. You can make fuel out of hemp, and it grows like that. It's crazy. I'm not talking about like the people that smoke THC weed. I'm talking about like an actual application,
paper, CBD.
CBD and hemp. Yeah, it's incredible what we can do with that. It's man, there's a lot.
And he did prison
stuff.
reform.
Yeah.
I think now that he brought on a bunch of people he shouldn't have. He's
Agreed.
getting bad advice from people. He needs to get rid of the bad people. But you know what, man? At this point, it doesn't even matter for me because I'm like, if Biden wins, Biden will be walked all over by the far left. He already is. He'll fall asleep, and then it'll be the Obama administration all over again, and people don't realize the horrific things they were doing.
Yep.
If now that I'm worried that there's gonna be a whole bait and switch that Trump.
Oh yeah.
No, with Trump.
Oh, with Trump.
Yeah,
Really?
because he fired the missiles in Syria.
Okay.
He's been doing drone strikes, he's been doing commando raids. Now, but to be fair, in the past couple of years, he's been pulling, drawing things down a little bit.
And who was the person that was he was working with? Oh yeah, Bolton.
Exactly.
And who's a warmonger? Oh yeah, Bolton.
He's the warmonger.
the
OG.
warmonger.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping. Here's
Interesting.
hold on.
So while he was doing all that, while he was doing all that, who was the one that was helping him, whispering in his ear like, "This is what we need to do"? Bolton. So he was doing all that.
Here's what I want.
Now got rid of Bolton. I just want to finish this. Got rid of Bolton. Now what is he trying to do? Bring the troops home.
So here's what I want. I want Trump to be so angry with John Bolton, he ends all of this war just to spite him. Because Bolton writes
Nice.
that book and starts ragging on him.
Yeah.
I want Trump to hold a grudge and be like, you cross me, oh yeah, I'll pull all our troops back. I'll be like, yeah, Trump, you show him. Bring our troops back from
Yes.
the Middle East and from Syria and from these other countries where they
Yeah.
shouldn't be.
Right.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I have
That's what I'm hoping
friends
for.
that are stationed out in Europe right now, just in case.
Yeah, I can't believe how many liberal friends I have are like, well, the war actually. I'm like, great. Trump's going to announce he's going to decriminalize pot, and they're going to be like,
Oh, boy. Pot's
but
bad.
there are issues.
I would love to hear their argument for that.
They did it with war.
Yeah, they did it with war. I was reading this neocon who talked about the importance of American imperialism, and I'm no. Sorry, you can't be mad at Trump for firing the missiles when I agree with you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're mad at Trump when he's pulling them out because now I disagree with you. What you're doing makes no sense.
Yeah.
No principles. Mm-hmm. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.